5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friends. This is Pinky.
And this is Priyanka.
And we're here to call out all things PakeAsPuck.
I zoned out
Because
for a second.
it was a dramatic week, so, you know.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I do have a story for you, though.
That's later.
Oh.
That's my story.
Your turn to tell a story?
It's my turn to tell a story.
You have a story for me?
I actually have a story. Okay.
This doesn't happen too often. It's going to be a good one.
So this is the poop story to rival all poop stories. Okay? I think I win.
We talk about shit a lot.
Shit happens. Literally.
Okay. What happened?
So, roommate number 2. He's not even a year old yet. He's 17 now. So this was 17 years ago. Right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not my own poop story.
Okay.
A roommate's poop story.
Okay.
We'll progress on to our personal poop stories later.
We're going back in time.
Right. And so I take him to Connecticut to visit my parents, and we're in the living room, and I'm just playing with him. I'm going to change his diaper. Now, if you've ever been to an Indian household, you probably know this. There's blankets everywhere because we want to protect the new carpet. We don't want to get it dirty. So there's blankets on the ground. There's blankets on the sofas because we're protecting all
and
new
your
surfaces.
Roommate is still a baby.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So it's even more.
Yeah.
It's even more like, let's protect everything because he's going to shit everywhere. And so...
I think it's more like in case he bumps his head, but...
I don't know. This has been like this well before he came. Mm-hmm. Like, my mom always had blankets on the ground to protect the new carpet, and, like, always had, like, sheets on the sofa to protect it because it was new. Like, all Indian boomers do this.
Oh, my God.
Yours didn't do that?
We had a blanket over the sofa for a while, and then
it's to
I was
protect
like,
the
this
new.
smells weird. It needs to go.
Yeah. No, so my mom, she did that our whole entire lives growing up. So it's like, it wasn't because of, oh, it's a new grandbaby. No, it was because this is what she was used
just
to.
protecting her.
Right, and so my brother is sleeping, and the house that I grew up in, you walk in, and it's the kitchen. You go to the left, it's the living room, and off the living room, it's 3 bedrooms. Like, octopus is out. So I'm changing his diaper. Right now, roommate number 2 used to get really constipated because of the breast milk, and so the doctor was like, oh, just give him a little pear juice with water. Well, he didn't give specific instructions. He didn't say how much. So I just, guesstimated. I acted like Breaking Bad, making all this concoctions. So I give him this pear juice. And I'm like, oh, somebody had a poopy diaper. You do the sniff test. And I open his diaper, and he literally is spewing diarrhea everywhere. And
You watched it come out?
Yes! I was holding his little legs up like this, and it was coming out of his booty hole, like, spewing. And I'm screaming, and I'm like this, look. I'm like, watching. I can't. And so then my brother, because one of the bedrooms that octopused out was his bedroom, and it was right in front of his bedroom that this happened, and he opens the door, and he's taller than me, and he's lanky, and can you just picture, in a ribbed tank top like they wear to bed, sleep shorts, he's like, man, what is going on? Man, which means sister, and I'm like, what is going on? And I was like, I don't know how to make him stop. It was just spewing everywhere, and I was so horrified.
It's like a faucet.
And then the saving grace was the fact that my parents owned a laundromat, so we could just take everything. And
I would have tossed it.
My mom was like, that's why we put in the blanket, so that when this stuff happens, we could just put it in the washing machine.
Leave it to your mom to make it seem as if, like, she came in with, like, the best solution of them all.
Yeah. Spewing. Like,
no, hey, you okay?
Yeah. Like, just...
Oh, I would have thrown everything away. Burnt it off. Did it get around the house, or was it stayed contained on the blankets?
It stayed pretty much on the blankets, because I freaked the fuck... Like, and it was, like, green.
It's too fresh for me. Like,
my
kids are still so little that, like, that's a very, very real experience.
Yeah.
It's too close for comfort.
Yeah.
That's so sick. What made you think about all of us? That are just all the poop stories that I've been sharing?
Yeah. And then I also saw a video this week that kind of was grinding my gungies.
Oh.
Okay, so this week, what's been grinding my gungies, what's been heavy on my mind, has been the fact that, so, heavy in the social media world, right? And how it kind of translates into real life. Now, I saw this one video. This girl, she has a 6-month-old, and she's saying that being a working, like, being a stay-at-home mom is not that big of a deal. Yes.
I remember seeing your response. Oh,
Yes,
that was
yes.
so triggering.
Yes, and so she was like, being a stay-at-home mom is not that big of a deal. I don't understand why you can't get stuff done. I get all my chores done, and I work in the corporate world. And I was like, game on, motherfucker. Okay,
Did you watch the whole video?
I watched the whole video.
Okay.
I've been making sure I watch the whole video before I say what I want to say, because I don't want to mistakenly blast a bitch.
And what if she was just trying to be like,
Right.
what's the word? Like just, I don't know, satire.
Right. Like, if she was trying to be funny, I would look at other videos. Usually you write satire.
But she meant that.
No, she meant it. She said it with her whole chest. Not even just half a titty. She said it with both titties. Her whole chest, not just half. Just She was like, and she's like, I have a 6-month-old, and my mother-in-law helps. And I was just like, okay.
Throughout the week.
Yeah,
okay?
throughout the week.
Multiple times a week.
But I was like, okay, been there, done that. I've done it all. You name it, I've done it. I've been a career person with a newborn baby, and I had family helping me. I've been a career person who had 2 kids with no family helping and had to figure out daycare situation. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I've been, after a stay-at-home mom, been able to go back into the workforce because I didn't wait too long.
And you were a stay-at-home mom for a prolonged period of time.
Right.
Like, not just, I'm just gonna figure this out for a few months. Like,
no,
you
I was
were
a
home
stay-at-home
for a few
mom.
years.
Yeah, I was a stay-at-home mom for like 2.5 years. And then I was ready for it to be a little bit longer because it was hard for people to get back into the workplace. Like,
Yeah.
It was hard for people to get jobs back then. I got lucky, but I've also done that. I've been a working mom throughout COVID. That meant working from home. So that means mom's not working. She's here to take care of me all the time. It's like, no, bitch, I got a conference call at 1 o'clock.
There's a reason why I refer to myself as Snack Bitch on my Instagram.
Right. And it's just like, and she just goes on to say all the, and like, and I got really mad because the thing is, like, these type of women, they're and not just women, these people, they're just speaking out of turn. They don't have any experience in that. And then they're saying that the reason why you're upset or the reason why you're traumatized is not as important, and you're just making a big deal out of nothing. And it's like comparing someone's pain or someone's frustration or someone's stress to something bigger, like, well, at least you have food on the table. Think about the kids in Africa. It's like, bitch, we're not, like, yes, but also this too, like, 2 things can happen at the same time. And the fact that she just thinks that it's easy to be a stay-at-home mom when it's not, especially if your partner is not helping you.
Yeah.
Because if your partner is taking advantage of you and like, oh, you're a stay-at-home mom, what do you do all day anyways? It's like, I want to see you try to do this.
There are so many stories that I've heard within my own group of friends and outside where their partners are not, I don't want to say 50-50, but sometimes they're not even like 25% of the way. Maybe.
No.
Like, they do see it as like, well, this is your job because I'm doing the other thing.
Right.
And if that works for your family, fine.
And if you're happy
but
with that,
that is
fine.
hard.
Yes.
If I was to put myself in your shoes, that would be very, very difficult for me. I'm grateful for the type of help that I do receive. I don't want to say help, but like for the level of partnership that I have, right? I think the thing that pissed me off the most about her video was that you're taking your experience and you're making a blanket statement about everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you didn't even try to put yourself in another person's shoes.
Right. You're not even trying to
You're
be
just saying that
empathetic.
this is the case for everybody. Shut up.
Right. Do you know how to have a conversation?
Pause for a second.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Or did she say that to create a controversial video?
Right. Does she say
for
it for
views?
clickbait?
Because then you're full of shit.
Right. And you're just making, like, then you're happy making yourself
You're
look
a
like
shitty
an
person.
asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I don't, wherever this video, whatever thought process this video came from, if it was a genuine place or not, I didn't deep dive into her account because I was like, this is garbage. I'm pretty sure the rest of it is garbage.
But you can get an idea for somebody's like personality and character,
Right.
more so character,
Right. Like I want to
off
see
of the one video.
I want to see when this girl's 6-month-old is starting to walk and is mobile and is getting into
Potentially
everything.
has another child.
Right. And then I want to see her when she has a second child and a third child, if a third child comes. And then I want her to come back and I want to reevaluate her video. I want to, you know how they do a year ago today and be like, what's happening now,
Wow.
bitch? Like and the reason I got really worked up about it is because I've done all of the things in regards to different ways that somebody could be a parent. I feel like I would never judge somebody for whatever difficulties they have, whatever position they have in life in regards to being a parent. Like if they were a career person because they had to be, they wanted to be, whatever. If you want to work, at least you know your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
At least you know that you need adult time, and so this is not going to work for you.
Yeah.
And that's not good, bad, it's none of those things. It just is what it is. But now we're putting this whole like, you know, we're saying women empowerment, and when it's really just women shitting on women because it's not what they actually want it to be. And I'm just like, I don't understand.
They're not synonymous.
They're not.
I wanted to bring up one more thing about that whole video.
Yeah.
She's comparing a working mom to a stay-at-home mom. Now, she's got a 6-month-old. She's got a corporate job. She's working from home, I believe. Or she was going to work and she has her mom's help.
She has her mom's help. That's us.
No, she said she was a stay-at-home mom because she found it to be easy.
No. I think we're talking about two different videos.
Really?
This was a younger girl, and
With the 6-month-old,
yeah,
she has her mom
like she's
helping
putting
her.
on her makeup,
and she was
while
like,
she's
"I
doing
don't know
this
why
video.
stay-at-home moms are complaining because it's easy.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for whatever 6 months."
Right. Okay.
Right? So we're forgetting the fact that she is identifying as a stay-at-home mom with a corporate job. Try to be a stay-at-home mom with a single income.
Yeah. Like I don't.
The two
You're not
are
a stay-at-home
not, they're
mom.
not parallel
You're
at
not
all.
You're a corporate employee who happens to be working from home.
Right?
then.
Like, I was thinking about them, like, you're not technically a stay-at-home mom if you're not actually staying at home. You're bringing home money still.
Right.
Like,
So what she's doing.
try to have that conversation on one income and then see how your life changes.
But not even that. What she's basically doing is, so when this whole work from home situation started, right, because of COVID, and even think before that, when we were allowed to have one or a handful of work from home days, there were all these rules and regulations that you had to, like childcare had to be provided. You
were
could
not
allowed to do childcare and your work. So what she just outed herself in this video, if she actually did say that, the fact that she's
Yeah.
been a stay-at-home mom for 6 months with a corporate job. No, bitch, you're a career woman with a corporate job who's allowed to work from home, and you're using that as childcare, which potentially could get you fired if you didn't look at your rules and regulations. I think this is an HR complaint. Where is HR? I need HR right now. Like, let's get a bitch. But that brings us to this week's hot take.
Let's get into it.
So today's hot take kind of goes hand in hand with that whole working mom versus stay-at-home mom. It's women shaming. Now, Priyanka, have you run into any sort of women shaming on your kind of online career or just as a consumer? What are you seeing? Or are you encountering this in your own life as well?
I don't think I haven't experienced
Personally.
hate on social media.
That's good.
And that might just be, I have a much smaller following. We haven't gotten to that part. I'm not that cool.
She's very cool.
Yeah, I'm not that cool. But kind of, we talked about this a little. What? Why are you laughing at me?
I was just giving the camera.
Why are you shaming me?
No, I was giving the camera a smexy look, and then I was like, it probably is going to look creepy on the playback. Like, because I'm so expressive.
We're trying to talk about something serious.
Okay.
Anyways, I lost my train of thought. Anyway. Focus.
So women shaming. Yeah. You haven't experienced it yourself in social media, in your work, in your content creation world, but as a consumer, have you witnessed it, seeing other people's videos, and what have you thought about it?
I have witnessed it. I can't think of an example right off of the top of my head, though. And that makes this conversation a little difficult.
No, so the reason I wanted to bring up this whole woman shaming thing is sometimes in an effort to show people that you are a woman supporting a fellow woman, you use this hashtag women empowerment. But then when you
It's
actually...
just for trends.
It's just for a trend.
And that's my 2 cents on the matter. I think a lot of hashtags are just like, let me see if I can push this out to more people. Do you actually mean it?
Right. And then, but these are people that have said it to me, like in my real life. And these are people that tout it on social media, like women empowerment. We need to support each other. We need to do everything. Make sure that we are there for one another.
The fake cheerleaders.
Yes.
The clout chasing cheerleaders.
And I feel bad for the consumers who don't see through that and who are still like, oh my God, we love you. Yes, queen, yes. And it's just like, have you ever talked to this person? Yes, queen, yes. I don't know where that came from. Stop making fun of me. But they, behind the scenes, they are not all about women empowerment.
Yeah.
But in front of the camera, women empowerment, let's go girls. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, and this whole work from home, working mom versus stay-at-home mom. This has been a big thing, and I'm not just hearing it the first time now. Like, this is an ongoing thing for the past year where, stay-at-home moms, if you don't know because you haven't experienced it, stay-at-home moms can tend to go a little crazy because we have no adult conversation.
I started therapy.
Right. So in order to get adult conversation, I had to start therapy.
In my stay-at-home experience, ended up finally taking on therapy.
Right.
I had to, I'm like, oh, yeah, I need it.
Right. Like, you end up taking on, depending on the type of person you are.
And I do feel bad saying it with that kind of tone.
No.
It's not a bad thing.
Therapy,
it's not
yeah,
a bad thing.
No.
But for so long, I was like, I can work through it. And it's not a bad thing. I support it 100%. It's just...
Yeah, no.
I got to that point, I was at a low.
Yeah.
And that's really the point that I was trying to make is...
Well, that's kind of one of the main reasons why a lot of women go into postpartum after giving birth, is because they're trying to handle it, and which I know that's a whole other conversation.
It's like a whole hormonal,
It's a whole other conversation, all of that stuff. However, we end up going crazy because we're trying to do everything at home when you are a stay-at-home mother. Like this girl, she was like, let's break it down, and this is how much you're doing, and this is how much you should, like, she was like mocking stay-at-home moms and saying, you should be able to get everything done because I'm able to get everything done. And as soon as somebody uses the word should, I'm finished listening.
We're on the same thing.
Don't tell me
I tuned her out after that. I tuned her out. I was like, shut up. Just shut up. I've lost interest in anything you have to say.
As soon as you say the word should, I'm like, fuck you and your mom. Peace out. Like, I'm not listening to you anymore because you have this idyllic way of how things need to be in order for you to be happy, and you're not seeing the other person's side of you. Like, just because some people are stay-at-home parents, that does not mean that is the life that they chose.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have to pick that life because it's not worth it just to have a job, just to pay daycare. Like, sometimes these jobs, that's all that paycheck is going towards is daycare. And so what's the point?
That was a cost analysis I did. I'm like, let's be real about this.
Right.
Because after we had the third, I'm like, I really need to do a little math.
Right.
And see if it was in my best interest to take an office job.
Exactly. Again. And like, whenever someone tells me what their life choice is, either they are a working career mom, or if they are a stay-at-home mom, they are hybrid, whatever they need to do to make it work for their family, I'm like, you go, girl. Like, and that to me is women empowerment.
Have you experienced shaming directly? Like, you're out on tour, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've experienced it.
Have they said something to you directly, or do you sometimes, like, internally feel shame? Because, sometimes that can be a little
It depends on the situation.
Gray.
I think it depends on the situation, like, on the actual situation. Like, as a parent, I haven't been shamed one way or another.
Yeah.
And if I was, I would drop your ass so fast. Like, I don't need that type of negativity in my life. But, like, in regards to just overall the umbrella of women shaming, the whole thing of like, to me, it's two-faced, right? Like and it goes back to being your true authentic self that we talked about last week, a couple episodes ago, right? And it's like you're creating this content and you're putting yourself out there for the world to see. And now you want to create connections, right? You want to collaborate with other people, other
like-minded,
yeah. Other creators that have the same niche as you or whatever it is, right? And so you reach out to these people, and it's already hard trying to make friends as an adult. Then to add the whole two-facedness of social media into it it makes you feel like you're in elementary school all over again.
Yeah.
And as grown-ass women, we should not have to be dealing with that.
I quite honestly tune it out. So
like,
I've been trying to think of if I've experienced any shaming. I personally haven't received it directly. I honestly don't think anybody has the balls to say it to my face.
Right.
I really don't think so.
Yeah.
But I have noticed colleagues.
Yeah. Say it.
I've noticed.
We're not naming names.
No, we're not naming names.
If you know, you know.
I've noticed colleagues, if they saw something on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
They saw something on Instagram and now it becomes a hot topic.
Yeah.
And they're shaming that person for whatever. Well, you have 3 kids, Bianca, It's not that hard. So they're going and shaming this other person. Now, all of a sudden, I have an upper hand because I have more children, in which case...
Like, you're like, I'm not
trying to toot my own horn, but I usually tell them the number of kids doesn't matter because what's hard for them is just hard for them.
Yeah.
I've built up a different type of tolerance, and it's hard in its own way, but it's apples to oranges. Like, that's fresh for them, even if they just have the one. It doesn't make it any easier because that's her reality right now.
Right.
I have a different reality.
Right.
It was hard for me when I also had just the one. So you can't compare the two. And I usually kind of just put an end to it, but that's where I have experienced any of the shaming that I have. Like, you don't know that person's life.
Exactly. And that's the thing.
Why are you comparing it again to mine?
Exactly.
Like, look at your own. You don't know the first thing about me either.
Exactly.
You're not in my house every day.
Exactly. You just know what we're posting online, and if you don't take the time to talk to us, but I'm talking about like people in your real life, like not even on social media anymore. These are people in your real life who it's both of it.
But when it comes to women empowerment, it's all them bitches that just want to get together and snicker about other chicks, and it's like, just stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Mind your own business and stop comparing your life to their life because you don't have half a clue.
I don't understand how people don't understand this, especially women who have had children, okay? Because here's the thing. When you get pregnant, the first thing if you have a good OBGYN, the first thing that they should be telling you is every woman experiences pregnancy differently.
I have yet to hear the same story twice.
Right.
When it comes to pregnancy, birth, whatever, the whole situation.
And so if every woman experiences pregnancy differently, that means that every pregnancy is going to be different. Every child that is a result of that pregnancy is going to be different because guess what? You birthed a human, not a fucking giraffe. Okay? And so everything is going to be individualized to that singular person.
Yep.
And for you to now be like, oh yeah, well, I was a stay-at-home mom when my kids were tiny and I was able to get everything done, so I don't understand why you can't. Well, you know what, Brenda? Maybe because I have a mental illness called depression, okay? Maybe that's why I can't.
And
get
everyone's
it done.
also experiencing such different levels of it.
Yes, and the fact that everybody's just shitting on each other and it's not trying to look at each other's like side of.
There's no empathy.
None.
It's awful.
I mean,
I don't want to say
also
there's none. There are good people out there, and I have my few.
authentic,
but.
There are
if I see somebody that's like relatively close in my circle talking shit about somebody else, I reel back on what I share.
Right.
Real fast.
Same. Yeah.
Real fast. We don't go into the specifics then. I'm just like, yep. Sounds
you keep
good.
it high level.
Very high level.
And
I don't
give them my
overshare.
mom answers. Like I'm always like, oh no.
Really? Hey, you do that to me. Hey.
you'll never know if it's real or
Are
not.
you just humoring me when
No.
I'm crying to you?
No! Stop. I'm talking about, like,
You're a dick, dude.
no, I'm gonna cry. No, but for in all seriousness though, to those type of people, I do tend to give my like the I don't hear you answers.
Yeah.
Like, and I call them my mom answers because it's what you do to the kids when they're excited and they want to show you something, but you're busy cooking. You're like, yeah, give me a minute. Like,
I've gotten really good at that actually. If anybody ever wants to like come to me and to like bitch about someone or to talk shit about someone, I let them do a lot of the talking.
yeah,
And I'm like, no way. I just play dumb. Like, you're kidding me.
I do the same thing.
Like constantly.
Oh
I'm just
my.
like, I had no idea.
Like, I'm so like overly sarcastic.
Yeah.
But like,
And I just let them get it out, and it stays between us. I'm not gonna go and share it with anybody.
And I think they think that I'm honestly like really like.
They just need a soundboard.
Like, they're like, oh my gosh, she's really paying attention. She's such a great friend, and I'm just like, I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah. I've gotten really good and be like, yeah.
But like, they just want somebody to vent to, right? Because
They're so triggered by it.
well, there's a couple different camps, right? Everybody says when you talk about somebody else, it's automatically gossip, and it's not that. I've learned there's like 4 different camps. One is gossip, one is venting, and one is being nosy, and then I think the other is spilling the tea, and it depends on who the audience is. So like gossiping, yeah, it's true. It's like such a bad tangent.
I'm curious. I want to know what the difference is between all these.
So
they sound a lot alike.
No, but they're not. So gossiping, so the easiest one is spilling the tea. Spilling the tea is me telling you something about somebody that you don't know.
Okay, but like, why?
Because it just bothers me. Like something I saw like on the news.
It's like me sharing a TikTok.
Right.
Right? It's
Right.
just like, oh my God, look at this.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's spilling the tea.
Okay.
And being just nosy for no apparent reason. Okay.
For
Just-
entertainment.
Right. You have no idea who these people are.
Yeah.
You've never talked to them a day in your life, but somebody has. This person who's stalking you and saying these words, they're spilling the tea to you. So now venting is when you both know the person, but whoever's doing the speaking, they're just upset about a situation, and they know you'll understand because you know that person as well.
Yeah.
So it's just getting it out of their system. Gossiping is when you both know the person and you both are shit talking that person.
And that's the worst kind. I think it's the worst.
Gossiping, I hate
it's
the gossiping.
lowest. Yeah.
Right, and I try to reel myself back because let's face it, we're girls. We love doing that, but I try to be better and not do it. And when somebody starts saying things like that about people that we know, like in baseball here or whatever activity,
I try to reel it back.
Yeah, I'm always like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like I go to those mom answers because I don't want to be rude and not talk to them, but I also don't want to be rude and be like, yo, I'm not down for this because I want to know the drama without being in the drama.
No. We agreed.
No
retakes.
No retakes, guys. We have done
is
so
just-
many fucking retakes.
Raw footage. That's it. That's all we're doing.
So, but anyways, Pocus.
We're stay-at-home moms. We don't have time to do retakes.
Yeah, we're so busy, okay? We're busy doing everything for everybody, like wiping everybody's butt cracks, okay?
I wiped a lot today. Anyways, okay.
But going back to women
so
empowerment.
you like to know everything,
Right.
You want to know everybody's business, but you're not going to participate in the gossip. So
Right.
A for effort.
So those are all different like camps, but this whole women shaming thing, I don't know how to articulate it in a way that I just know that I have seen people in front of the camera and behind the camera, and what they tout in front of the camera is not necessarily what they tout behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And that is the only way that you truly can know somebody, and to know if they are empowering each other, if they're making and it's not just like telling you what you think you should be doing, right? Like if you came, how many times have we come to each other with issues? Right? Numerous times.
a day.
Numerous times. And the very first thing that either of us says is, well, how do you feel right now?
Yeah.
Like, we never, like, I might give you some,
You've
like,
actually
an example.
asked me a couple of times, like, do you just want to vent or do you want, you treat
Advice.
me, you toddler me a little bit and you're just like, do you want a solution or
But that's
do you
what
just
you
want to
need.
vent? Yeah, and I appreciate that. I'm like, no,
Right,
I just
and-
needed to get this off my chest. I'll call her or text her and just be like, I just need to like let it all out. And I'll just say everything that I probably don't actually mean but needed to say the words.
Yeah. And it's
And
fine.
it's like, okay, where are you at? And then you check in on me later.
Right, but that's the thing. Like, and I'm like, I understand that you're upset right now. If you want to talk, I'm here. If you want to call, I'm here. But just know that whatever the situation is, it's not as bad as you think it is. And it's, in my way, that's me showing you support. And it's also empowering you to be like, this is going to be okay.
And there's
right?
a reason why I come back to you with the next problem. Because
Right.
I don't feel like I'm being judged.
Right, and but the same for me when I come to you with a problem, right? Like, granted, you might not understand some of the problems just because I'm, like the geriatrics and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And my kids are older and stuff like that.
I'm
like,
not at the point where my in-laws live with me just yet, but once
Right.
again, you help me get through that phase too when
and
that
you'll,
comes.
yeah, and I'll be like, girl, I got you. I got tips
Yeah,
and
yeah,
tricks, and so, but like, or if you came to me and you said, I'm really having these type of issues with whatever, with my mental health. And I'm like, okay, well, what can I do to help you?
Yeah.
You did that for me. What can I do to help you? Right? There have been days where you would sit there and, when I would come to your house and you would just feed me because you knew that even though I didn't have an appetite, you're like, do you want to try to eat something? And, it's just, you give each other grace when you are showing empowerment towards one another when it comes to women and supporting one another, right? You give each other, like, you take a look at their personality. Like, the advice that I might give you is not necessarily the same as the advice that I might give another friend because you guys are two different people and you're two different personalities.
Two personalities, two different situations.
Right, and what I say to this person might make you uncomfortable, so I can't, it's not a blanket statement.
Yeah.
And so when you
I'm a
don't,
hothead, somebody else might be a little more sensitive. You're going to cater your response to that.
right, because you care about the person, you care about your fellow woman and making sure that she's not going cray-cray because it's not a good place to be in.
Yeah.
And like, to me, that is what women empowerment is. It's saying, hey, I'm here for you if you want, no hard feelings. I might, I'll be a little busy, but I'll check in on you once in a while.
Yeah.
And it's like if you said to me, you know what, Pinky, I'm having a really hard time. I don't know if, I can do this type of whatever it is that you're talking about. Either is, being in a large group of friends and it's just taking too much of your energy, or you were talking about work and, I just can't do this anymore because these people are just up my ass all the time.
And that's when we started our walks.
Right. And that's like, what can we do to combat this? And this, again, that's women supporting women. It wasn't me being like, well, you just got to pull up your big girl panties and figure this shit out. Like, that's not what you needed.
No.
You needed to step away. And it's like, okay, well, do you do what you need to do? I'm not going to force you to be in a situation that you're uncomfortable in. Right. And then check in, like, not get butthurt about it. Like, that's what I'm talking about when I say woman shaming. And then to go online and to see these people doing it to each other and they have no idea who these people are. And that's what gets me the most. Like, it's not only happening in our real lives, so like we have to deal with it from fellow women in our everyday lives, whether it be work, whether it be at home, whether it be at school, wherever the situation is. We are dealing with this in our real lives. And so when you go online to decompress and you see that same shit, and these people are doing it to each other who they have no idea who this other person is. That's why, like, people ask me all the time, they're like, how do you respond to bad comments? And I'm like, well, what's a bad comment? Is your version of a bad comment the same as my version of a bad comment? Like, I posted a video of giving roommate number 4 an apple. And so many people were like, well, if you want him to be gentle, you have to be gentle. Why are you screaming at him? And I was like, I showed you a 20-second video of me giving my dog a slice of an apple because he acts like he's been starved in an ASPCA commercial every time I have food. Like, bitch, I feed you. You are the one that chooses not to
Yeah.
eat, okay?
But they're taking that little clip and making it seem as if like you're just
Like, they have to
always
call-
barking at your dog.
Yeah, they have to call PETA on my ass. It's like, get the fuck out of here. And at the end of the day, yes, the people commenting are women, and I am a woman, but you are shaming me for being a bad dog mom. That's basically what you're doing.
When that was not even
It's
at all
not-
the context
Yeah.
of what you're sharing.
And the thing is, some of these people who are creating content, they're not mentally strong enough to handle that. They're not mentally strong enough to decipher what's a mean comment and what's not. Like, to me, those comments weren't mean. Those comments, I laughed at those comments because I was like, you're doing this off of a 20-second video? Fuck you and your mom. Like, not your mom, that's gross.
Well, yeah, I just don't
But
understand.
I don't, like, they just assume that that's what our dynamic is all the time.
I've had to have that conversation with some of my friends, and I know we're going a little off topic, but like,
It's fine. You don't care, do you?
Yeah, I've had to talk to some of my friends because they'll get heated about stuff that they see online. Like, yeah, like, can you believe like she's always on like trips and this and that? And I'm like, she's not always on trips.
Yeah.
She was on a trip, and she created lots of content in that time. Like.
It's called banking content.
Right.
It's called being smart. Work
Yeah,
smarter,
like-
not harder.
Don't think of this person as your average woman down the street, walking around. I don't, even that word, like, I'm questioning myself. That's not average. But what I'm saying, like, a lot of creators, you have to pause and think, like, what are they doing? They are business women,
Yeah.
right? Like, they are negotiating brand deals
Yeah.
and Instagram this. I don't do it, so I can't really speak very intelligently about it, but I know that they're spending a lot of time negotiating some sort of contract, some sort of brand deal, and they've got to output all this content to post, and most of the time they're recording once or twice a week because they do have families and obligations.
Yeah.
And so don't think that they're just sitting in front of the camera. There might be some that are doing that, but you cannot associate your friend that is trying to become a creator to somebody that has mastered it
Right.
and is banking content so that they can be available with their family. Pause for a second.
Right. You
Right?
don't know the full story.
You don't.
That's
and
the thing.
I'm kind of, I have to like sometimes coach some of my friends that
Yeah.
aren't in the social media world.
Oh my God.
Like, don't judge them just yet.
Yeah.
You have to kind of view them as business owners.
Yeah.
And see when they're doing the work. Like, just because
That's a
you're
good topic, though.
Yeah,
We need
just
that
because
as a
you're
topic.
seeing things being posted every other hour, there's apps to schedule that shit. You don't know this because you're not in it.
Until
So
you're
stop
in it.
hating on them for that.
Exactly.
And then the other side of it. Now, we talked about this.
Yeah.
I don't agree with some of the creators making up stuff to push a code.
Yeah.
But again, that's their job.
Right.
That's their personality. Stop taking it for face value that this is who that person is.
Right.
They're trying to make a buck, and you have to look at them as a personality and not the person you once used to know.
Right.
The two are independent. They figured out a personality that's selling, and that's who's showing up on camera. That's not who you're seeing at Sunday brunch.
And that's what a lot of entertainers say. I mean, some stand-up comedians say that. They're like, the material that I do on stage, I don't necessarily 100% believe in it, but I just know that's a hot take right now.
It sells.
Right. Like, there's a reason why Dave Chappelle was talking about trans people, because that's been a hot topic for the past couple of years, and he somehow had some story to go along with that. Now, is it real or not? I have no idea.
But he can sell it.
Right. I have no idea if it's real or not. I've never even talked to the guy, right?
Yeah.
And so I can't just assume that all his stories are real. They're stand-up comedians. Like, there is some truth to what they're saying on stage, because that's how they make it sound authentic.
They're still going off of
Right.
like real life stories.
But, like, you have to just take it with, I don't know, is it a grain of sand?
a grain of salt.
Whatever. Salt
Take
sand.
it with
It's all tiny. It's all tiny. It's Gino, all so tiny. And then it gets in your cornea and it can, like, scratch your eye. It's
Too far.
Hashtag too far. But you don't know these people, right? And so for you to, or you don't know this whole demographic of people, and then for you to shame them based off of one video.
Judge and shame, and like it's
We're not going to get anywhere. Like, we talk about how we don't like the patriarchy, right? We don't like how men are just fucking shit up left and right. Women should rule the world, go Barbie, all that bullshit. And the reason I call it bullshit is because we women can't even get our shit together. Like,
in my experience, guys don't rip on each other, and if they have something to say,
they just say
it and they move on.
Yeah. They say it with their whole chest.
And there's no hate and animosity afterwards. They'll still see each other the next week, and it's like, all right, we good, bro?
Right, they're still shooting hoops. They're doing whatever the fuck they do.
And I say
balls, I don't know.
it's in my experience. I haven't seen it.
Right. In my in my experience as well.
Are so emotional about it.
Like,
and they'll hold that grudge, and they'll talk shit about it weekend after weekend after weekend.
And then as soon as you say, I would rather not talk about so-and-so's drama, then you're the bad guy. And it's like, no, I'm doing this because, and I've had to put my
I've
foot
walked
down.
away so many times, and I'm just like, can I just hang out and play beer pong now?
I wish.
I've just walked away.
Well, I've been told,
I'm bored.
I've been told that I could do that now. I could walk away because I didn't think I could before because the people pleaser, all that stuff.
I get so irritated. Like when I get stuck in the room with the aunties, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go hang out this way. Well, sometimes I'll go hang out in the kids' playroom because that's more fun.
It's not even just the aunties. It's the aunties in training, too. Like,
I know.
The AITs are as bad as the A's.
You acronym everything now. The corporate doesn't leave you.
The corporate's not leaving me. But I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much of it online, and when we talk about how men suck and we hate men and men made it this difficult for women.
They're simple.
But they're simple creatures, and we can't even get our own shit together.
They're simple creatures with very grimy habits.
They're so grimy. Like, we can't even get our own shit together to be able to overthrow this patriarchy.
We gotta mean what we say.
Yeah, and we can't just shit on each other, like, maybe,
And here we are. Okay, I'm not trying to, be, what's the word? I can't think of it.
Condescending?
No.
You need to read
I don't
more.
know. But here we are saying we shouldn't shit on each other, but we're shitting on a whole group of type of people.
Yeah, the assholes.
But you see the hypocrisy in it? Like, we are still sitting here, technically.
Yeah.
Ripping on a group of women.
They're assholes.
A type.
That are shaming
that we're saying not to do.
We're shaming the shamers.
So we're hypocrites.
We're shaming the shamers. You can call me a hypocrite.
I don't give a fuck.
Fine.
All right. So those are our 2 cents, right?
Those are our 2 cents.
A really long 2 cents. I like that.
1 plus 2 equals 1 plus 1 equals 2.
So thanks for listening. We hope you found this episode helpful and helped you see other things that might be PakeAsPuck all around you. If you have any questions, topic ideas, anything you want to hear us bitch about, leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to follow.
Okay, bye.